Ladies and gentlemen, we got a big must-win game versus Liverpool. After Arsenal have only won 1 out of their last 5, we got to get some wins under our belt. And of course, we cannot get knocked out of another cup competition. No more bigger fish to fry BS. Let's get this show started. Also, on today's show, we're going to talk about the January transfer window. Are we going to sign anybody? Do you genuinely believe we are going to sign anybody? Tottenham just made a signing and people are freaking out. They're like, we need to do business. Also, we're going to have to discuss some controversial topics like Charlie Patino, Ramsdale Raya, Jorginho, Thomas Partey, Emile Smith Rowe, and the most controversial of all, apparently, Mikel Arteta. But yeah, let's get this show started. Personally, for me, I don't want the manager gone. I don't want the manager sacked. Some people think if you even ask a question, you want a manager sacked, but that's not what I want. I just want Arsenal Football Club to win, and I believe that Mikel Arteta can get us there. He just needs to get some more of his decisions correct. Let's get this show started. Yes, people. What's going on? So let's get the show started. Gunnar Souls is in the building, as you guys can see. Souls, how you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Let's get it. I like to see it. And by the way, I just want to say thank you everybody for watching all those most recent videos that I've been doing. Big support on the video with the panel with me, Dawood, Femi, and Northside. That video got a lot of nice feedback. You guys really enjoyed that video. Plus, I've been doing a new series on the channel. I just want to show everybody for Arsenal news today. I've been doing these shorter upload videos. And you guys have really enjoyed these videos, so I appreciate the feedback and the comments on these videos also. So hopefully I'll keep it up. And yeah, that's it. That's that. Just make sure you do like the video, support the channel. Of course, we have just hit 25K before the New Year's, and we're now trying to get to 26K. The more and more we can get, I'm gonna try to get Kevin Campbell on. I'm going to try to get Lee Judges on. I'm going to eventually try to get Dan Potts on, try to get more difference of opinion also on the channel so we can have a genuine conversation about everything around Arsenal. Plus, I'm going to have rivals on like tomorrow, Vibes from the Six. We're going to talk about Tottenham making their signings and everything else on that show. Just don't feel like it's necessary to talk about that right now today. But let's get into the transfer window. First question, is Arsenal going to sign anybody, bro? Real talks. We just need to go there. Do you think Arsenal are going to make a signing? Because I question if we will make a signing, and that will definitely be to our detriment. But can we make a signing that will make any impact at this moment in time? Yes, we can. Will we make that signing? That is the question. And I just genuinely don't believe Arsenal Football Club are going to make that signing this transfer window. I'm looking at the landscape of everything. It looks like Ivan Toney, he's going to be staying. It looks like Dusan Vlahovic rumors have been debunked. Osimhen is a summer signing. What's the other? Paulinho. I don't think we're going to sign Paulinho. That's just me. Maybe he goes to Bayern. Maybe it's a summer move. I don't know if he leaves Fulham in the middle of the season. Long story short, I don't think Arsenal invests heavily in the midfield this season, unless we get a sale of Thomas Partey or something else. But there also, the only position that seems to be where we're looking to sign a player from right now is the left back position. And I question, why don't we even use the academy? We have a young player. I know some people are going to be like, oh, he's not ready. But why don't we use our academy? Why don't we utilize our academy a little bit better? What is going on? So my question to everybody is Arsenal going to even sign anybody? And if who in the January? Let me know. What are you saying, Souls?
I mean, it's a tough one to answer, really, because it can be broken into two parts of, are we going to sign someone of significance that's actually going to help us this season? Or are we going to go for a signing like, what's his name from Ajax, the 17-year-old Hater? Like, I don't know how good he is. I don't know whether he can make an impact in the last sort of 6 months. But it's looking like even if we do get a signing like that done, we'll be looking to loan him back to Ajax for the last remainder of the season anyway. So, I mean, right now it's not looking positive when you look at the correspondence from a lot of the news reports and the rumors that are coming out. It's very scattergun. It seems like a lot of regurgitated stories of players we have been linked to in the past. Like, for example, before the window opened, the Douglas Luiz rumours came out again. Palhinha was something that we were linked to in the summer when Bayern Munich were talking about signing him. It looks like the same kind of players that we were linked to in the summer are coming back up again, which to me, when there's noise around the signing, that's not going to happen. We tend to always pivot away from what the media is saying, and we go for the signings that aren't as obvious. Like, no one knew we were going to sign Trossard. No one even had an inclination of Jorginho coming in. We didn't even know whether like a Jesus or a Zinchenko were going to come in as well. So it doesn't seem likely at the moment that we're looking at someone. But then there's a part of me that when you listen to Arteta's press conference and saying, he doesn't think there'll be a signing, that means there's someone coming in, because he tends to say the opposite when getting questioned about transfers and about utilizing the squad. But right now, if you ask me my honest question, I don't think we're signing anyone. And I think it's going to take something big to happen, such as maybe the Eddie Nketiah sale, maybe a Reece Nelson sale. Hate to say it, but maybe a Smith Rowe sale of 50 million might be what triggers us to be able to go and buy players. It's all about this FFP situation. For me, break the rules, get the ban. I don't care. Just go deliver that Premier League.
Hey, we're not Man City, but yeah, Arsenal, man. We play by the rules to our detriment to a certain degree at times. What can we do? If you remember, Arsene Wenger building the stadium cost us numerous opportunities to progress the squad because we continuously sold players. Now, this January transfer window, Ivan Toney, you can forget about it. Unfortunately, that is the honest reality. Forget about it. They're in a relegation battle. Ivan Toney looks like he's going to be staying. And as much as Arsenal fans want Ivan Toney, want Victor Osimhen, want Ollie Watkins, people are looking at Tottenham signing TIMO WERNER, and they're getting all pissed off. To me, that's laughable, because if we were about to sign TIMO WERNER, people would have been pissed. They would have said, what the hell are we doing signing another former Chelsea reject? That's what people would have said. But hey, everyone to fit their own agendas, fit their own narratives. I keep seeing this comment from Higo, Santiago Gomezi. I don't know enough about him to comment, to be fair. I don't know enough about Santiago Gomezi. Do you know anything about this?
It's with Gimenez, by the way, but no. I'll be honest, maybe not by name. Maybe if someone...
To be honest, I'm just going to keep it real. Arsenal at this moment in time cannot be developing strikers. We don't have the time to be taking a 22-year-old striker from the Turkish league, developing them, and hoping that they bang to help us push forward. We're in a state where we need players that can come in and make an impact right away. We cannot be signing developmental players. Hence why I didn't even want I don't even want a left back from Ajax is 17 years old to be coming into this team. 17-year-old defenders are not, even though he might be quality, that's another reason why I don't want young signings. We are in a situation where we can sign a profile of player that's 25, 24, 23, but they need to have the adequate experience, and we need to know that they're of the level that will raise our quality, and not somebody who's just going to come in and be anything into this team. That's why if we did sign a Curtis Jones, I think it would be a squad signing. It wouldn't be somebody who raises our level. It wouldn't be something that we would do in the January, especially with Liverpool. That doesn't make sense. So that's why even the Santiago Gomez guy, I'm looking at him right now. He's 22 years old, plays for Fenerbahce. If I'm not mistaken, he's Mexican descent. Yes, he might be doing good over there right now. He's scoring what, like 15 goals, 18 goals in their league. But how is that going to translate to the Premier League? We don't know. So we can't be taking those kind of risks, unfortunately. That's the reality of the situation. The market is dead. That is so true. The market is dead, bro. Who's Arsenal signing this window? Like, everybody wants a signing, but you tell me what we could do. Douglas Luiz. We wanted Douglas Luiz. Looking back at it, we should have pulled the trigger. Douglas Luiz is one hell of a player now. Why didn't we pull the trigger? They didn't value him at the price that Aston Villa value him. Is it that Arsenal valuations of players is costing us opportunities of making signings, or is it saving us from being burnt like Chelsea? That's another question we have to ask ourselves.
I mean, it's always going to be difficult because valuation of players is very subjective. Like, I can say, like, for example, I've always said Declan Rice just paid the money for him. but the club could see it as like, let's say the 100 million to 110 million pounds was a bit too much. But clearly, they've obviously valued that player and said, that's the player that's going to move us forward. Whereas with Douglas Luiz, if we're being absolutely honest with ourselves, he's probably going to come in and be sort of a rotation player. So to pay over the odds for a player that you're not going to see as a valuable starting asset, there's no point. You have your cut-off points as well. We don't want to be burnt in the market either. If we start giving in and caving into every valuation, guess what we're going to have? We're going to have a situation where we paid what Anthony went for to United, what Mudryk went for to Chelsea, what Enzo went to Chelsea, because these clubs know that you're willing to pay money. But the minute you start to back off a little bit, look at Man City, they don't get burnt as much, or they don't overly pay for many of their signings. Yes, there is the Grealish signing, which was £100 million. Bar that, I think they've had value for money for pretty much every signing. Why is that? Look at the Cucurella deal. It was 17 million over the price that they wanted to pay, and they said no. When next time they go in for a player, they know that once Man City say that's not what we're willing to pay, and this is the max, that is the max line, they are going to walk away. And that's something that I do credit the club to do, because you don't want to be in a situation where clubs take advantage of you're just willing to pay the money, because that's what's really burning Chelsea at the moment, not the fact that they've paid this much money. Like Lavia went for 60 million, where if they had just gone in about 3-4 months ago, actually, let's say 2 months ago, they would have gotten for 40 million. But as soon as Chelsea entered the door, the valuation went up to 60 to 80 million. So it's difficult. I mean, the club has to do what's right.
Don't go overreact. This is what I mean. Look at this comment right here. Man's saying Spurs are better than us. Spurs are better than us based on what? Based on the fact that they pulled the trigger on, where is it? Let me find it.
I do rate the TIMO WERNER signing for them.
This is why they're better than us? Because they got TIMO WERNER, or is it because Eric Dyer is going to Bayern? Or is it because they sold Harry Kane in the summer and didn't replace him? Are we really forgetting that?
Werner's a good signing for Spurs, but that doesn't make him better than us.
But Werner is another one of those players who shoots but doesn't finish. He's a guy who will get a lot of shots off, but some of them hit or hopes. He doesn't really finish in the box. He's another player who's like, he creates like a winger, plays in the striker position at times, and is more of a second striker than an actual striker. And if he joins that Tottenham team, he's going to just add to the list of players that they have that are similar to that are not clinical. They have one clinical player. If Ange Postecoglou can turn TIMO WERNER into a 10-goal contributor from now until the end of the season in the Premier League alone, that is a massive return for a loan. But we know loan deals, they don't usually end well.
I think it fits the profile of striker that they need, not necessarily a finisher, but someone who can help the wingers come inside more, especially someone like Son. He's an efficient presser as well. Something which you look at sort of Ange, he wants to go all out. He wants to play the high lines. He wants to play in behind as well. So for me, I think it's a good acquisition for them. We'll see obviously how it pans out. But on paper, I actually do think it's a decent signing. I'm not going to say he's going to light the world up, but I think it's smart business for them. 6-month loan. If it works out, cool. If not, he goes back. It's as simple as that.
No, I hear that. Let's go to the next topic though. Ivan Toney scored a hat trick. He's back for Brentford. My man's staying at Brentford. Forget about him, right?
Yeah, I don't see us signing him. I mean, 80 million. We're already talking about FFP. So to go and pay, what is it, like 60 to 80 million? Unless a big transfer happens, if that Eddie Nketiah and rumours have some substance to it that we are, or Crystal Palace are very interested and are willing to pay sort of 30 to 35 million, then there's a possibility that Toney happens. But until there's no substance or legs to that kind of rumour, I don't see it happening. And I don't think we're willing to give 2 players to bring 1 in. So it has to be a substantial value transfer to fund the Ivan Toney deal. Now, when it comes to FFP, if we sell an academy player, it's pure profit. So it actually allows us to spend more than what we actually gained from that player. So it's difficult, man. I'm at that point where even though I want Victor Osimhen, I'm happy with Ivan Toney because we do need someone of that profile.
Yeah, he scored a goal. Brentford showed one of the goals that he scored, non-copyright, obviously. so I can show
Well,
it.
who did they play though?
They played like under 23 side.
Oh,
So
okay.
it is what it is. Arsenal is going to be playing against Liverpool. I'm going to have Hussam and Ram joining us in about 20 minutes time. But here's the first controversial question I tweeted out earlier today. And I just want to know what people think. I want to gauge the room. I want to gauge people's opinions on this topic. Jorginho. So this is what I have to say. I have to ask you guys. Should Arsenal extend Jorginho's contract? Here's my reasoning. Thomas Partey is continuously injured. El Neni has just been sold, and we currently have a situation where those are two midfielders out of our squad already gone. We also have a situation where we're already short on midfielders, and we need another midfielder regardless. So with that being said, would you extend Jorginho's contract for another year, knowing that his mobility was never his main ability? His ability was always his technical ability on the ball, and he can still do that without necessarily with his age and everything. I don't think he's diminished that much. So I think if we were to give him one more year, yes, it would be a stopgap, but it would save us from having to sign another 3 midfielders in the summer, and we can go sign a Zubimendi and another midfielder, maybe 2 midfielders in the summer, instead of going and having to sign 3 midfielders in the summer and have him there as a stopgap for another year. Just because we have so many outgoing players, I don't think that much changeover is good for a team at this moment in time. It's good to have some experienced players in the team that can kind of guide the young players and some of the old and some of the players that are there. But hey, maybe I'm talking rubbish in some people's opinion, and they want Jorginho sold in the first place. But the reality is, we have a contract extension clause in his contract where we can extend it for 1 year. You don't have to give him a pay rise or anything crazy. Would you agree to that or disagree to that?
Do you know what? It's a tough one because it kind of brought me back to the Granit Xhaka moment where a lot of fan base was like, yeah, let him go. If he wants to leave, let him leave. And then we find ourselves in a situation where the transition hasn't been as smooth. Now, a lot of people can sit there and say Kai Havertz was never the player we should have brought in to replace Granit Xhaka, but that's a conversation we can have another day. When it comes to Jorginho, I kind of do agree. We may need to consider the opportunity of just extending his contract and looking at the other vulnerable areas within the squad. Because what we're doing is we're going back to the same issues where, let's say, for example, we do sell a Thomas Partey and we sell Jorginho. Now we're having to use those funds to bring in another midfielder because we are like very, very low in depth in midfield. That doesn't then give us the opportunity to go get the striker we want or a winger we want and actually bolster our attacking options rather than the midfield. If we keep someone like Jorginho, he knows the system, he knows the players, he can come in and actually do a job, and it's not really a risk to keep him. And then the following summer, we can look to bolster those positions again. When you give yourselves too much to buy in this, you've got to then sort of spread thin the money that you have, and that means you can't buy quality players. So if we can somehow keep the squad as it is and keep the depth as it is, and try and focus on the attacking sense this window is my ideal way of going forward. So in that sense, yeah, I would extend Jorginho, not because I want to, but because our hands are kind of tied into a situation which means we can do more if we keep him.
So you agree with me? You would extend Jorginho's contract?
Yeah, not because I'm buzzing about it, but because it needs must.
No worries. Everyone in the comment section, let me know what you guys think. And if you're watching this on the playback, also let me know what you guys think. Would you extend Jorginho's contract? Now, talking about Jorginho's contract, there is also another major contract that we need to talk about very soon. Mikel Arteta got a contract renewal just a couple seasons ago after we bought top 4, and a lot of people were upset about it at that time. But here we are again, and Mikel Arteta is going to be looking at a potential 18 months at the end of the season. Before another contract renewal discussion will have to start. Now, I just started a major discussion on Twitter in regards to this with a lot of people, and I tweeted it out. With 18 months left at the end of the season on Mikel Arteta's contract, should Arsenal renew his contract? Personally, for me, I think they should. Reason being, even if things go south, it doesn't mean you have to keep the manager. You can still sack the manager if things go south at that point. At this moment in time, he's gotten us to this level. He's built the team. He has the trust of everybody in the team and the board. For Arsenal to shift away from Mikel Arteta, there must be a level of distrust somewhere. And I have not seen anywhere that there's been any unwavering support from the players, the ownership, or the backroom staff in Mikel Arteta. Now you can say he needs to deliver some sort of silverware in order for him to start showing some level of progress. But showing progress doesn't. He's shown massive progress. He just hasn't shown that final piece to the puzzle that everybody's looking for. I think Mikel Arteta can definitely get us to the promised land. It's just at this moment in time, he's had to build us up to get to this level. And for people to just throw him out, I think they need to realize where we were just a couple years ago and say, do we really get there with the same level of investment with a different manager? Do we really get there with Mikel? If we sack Mikel Arteta today and we bring in another manager, does that really guarantee us silverware? Does that really guarantee us to push on? Or could it put us in a situation where we now have a manager who doesn't really work with the players and the people that he's brought in? Because Mikel Arteta has built this team in his image. And for us to now sack him would kind of be diminishing some of the returns in some of the investments that we've done. And I don't think the team at this moment in time is better than the manager yet. But yeah, that's my take. What are you saying?
This is probably one of the hardest questions to answer, in my personal opinion, because there's a part of me that does believe he's got it in him to win. You know, he's definitely got the ability as a manager to make. I've seen enough to say, you know what, he can win. But my problem with him is he flexible enough to win? And the reason why I say that is because I need him to bring everything he's done at Arsenal together, like his last season tactics, his this season tactics, and understand when to use them. And that's the part that kind of makes me believe he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the experience to go and win. And the problem with keeping someone for far too long is you can turn a winning side very toxic very quickly, and that can cause us a lot more issues in the long run. In terms of, let's say, for example, we don't win this season, we extend this contract, and then he goes on to not winning again. How long do the players want to stay? How long do the players say, do you know what, the ambition of Arsenal isn't enough for us? Now, I understand.
Let me just say this. There is a world in which we let Mikel Arteta leave and he ends up going to a PSG or Barcelona or any of those other clubs and wins multiple trophies and we look like idiots.
Yeah, but I've always said that, like, for me, if Arteta is going to be one of the top managers of his generation, that's always going to be the case. I do believe out of the crop of managers that we're looking at now, especially the up-and-coming managers, he is by far heads and shoulders above a lot of them. You know, tactically, he's got it in him. My only problem is that he's not shown it, and there's got to be a point where you show it. I don't care how long or how much you've built us to this point. Poch has done that with Spurs, but couldn't deliver. And Spurs said, you know what, enough's enough. And I know people are going to say it's been downhill ever since. They should have maybe backed him and invested in him. But Arteta's gotten what he wants. Arteta's been given every tool he wants. He's been able to spend money. How much has he spent in his sort of 3 to 4 seasons he's been here? Around about £700 million. So backing isn't the issue. The players he's wanted, we've got in. So for me, there has to be a
summer, because I'm willing to give him at least this summer. But comment here is saying how much more without major success.
For me, do you know what the question shouldn't be whether we want to give him an extension? It's when is enough? Like when is the time enough? Because the problem with like a lot of people, and look, I'm not saying sack the manager, I'm not saying get rid of the manager. I do think he should get a contract extension, but I also want to put a deadline on that. I do want to also say there's got to be a point where, you know, we sit there and go, okay, enough's enough. And I think after this transfer window, if he doesn't sort the attack out, he's got to go. And the reason I'll tell you why, because if he doesn't deliver next season, because now you've had, I don't know what the fuck you need to do now, because you've had enough, you've rebuilt the defense, you've rebuilt the midfield. Now the only thing you haven't been able to properly invest in and bring a big man into is your attack. If you then fail...
Let me stop you there. If we go and get Victor Osimhen, put him into this as the crown jewel to our whole system, and we said, oh, don't forget about Ivan Toney, guys. We can't get Ivan Toney in January, but we can get you Victor Osimhen in the summer. We now have a player on the caliber of a Mo Salah or Erling Haaland at Arsenal, a talisman who can win us that trophy. Is that the missing piece? Does Mikel Arteta actually have the tools to win a league title at the club right now?
I think he has enough. He just needs to utilize them better, because The reason why, like, I say he needs to have that attacking rebuild is because if you look at every stage, for example, Ramsdale was a big signing for a goalkeeper. Obviously, then he bought David Raya in. In his centre back positions as well, he's had a £50 million investment in Ben White. He's had obviously Saliba, which we were given, but that's another crown jewel there. You look at Gabriel, another £30 million defender. And
Something like
then you look at his midfield, for example, he's got a £45 million signing in Thomas Partey. He's got Declan Rice, who cost him, what was it, about £105 million, £65 million in Havertz. He's got his captain, his talisman in Martin Odegaard. The only position he hasn't really invested in is the attack. But for me, all I'm going to say is this. If we don't give him a contract extension, we wait until what happens next season. He gets that transfer window. If he utilizes it properly and he gets that attacking rebuild and he still fails to deliver, he's got to go. That's the deadline. That is the strict. Next season, there's no objectivity. There's no context. You win or you leave. That's, for me, how I see it.
I think this season, how it ends, also depends on if he gets a contract extension. Because the ending of this season could also mean that they might start looking at the potential, not giving him a contract extension, and they might be looking at a successor. But at this moment in time, I think everybody so wholeheartedly is backing him and the club. Now, quick fire questions, okay? Quick fire questions. And these are somewhat controversial. Is Emile Smith-Rowe's situation a situation where he needs to be sold, or he just needs to be given more game time? Because he hasn't been given an opportunity a lot this season at all. So what are we doing with Emile Smith-Rowe?
For me personally, I mean, if you look at what Arteta's been saying as well in terms of his attitude in training, it's massively improved. He's putting the work in. He's wanting to come back and become a starting player, or at least fight for the opportunity to be a starter. So for me, that's all I want to hear. I think, Smith-Rowe is exactly the player we're missing. Someone who, from sort of a wide area, midfield area, someone who isn't the striker, can actually contribute to loads of goals, be an impact sub, but someone who you can actually trust starting. When you look at someone like a Trossard, for example, within the system we play in, he's better off the bench. He's been more of an impact sub, someone who, when he comes on, he plays better. Whereas for me, Smith-Rowe's been able to do both. If you bring him on for the last sort of 20, 30 minutes, he has made an impact. And even if you look at sort of the cameo appearances he's made, he's looked sharp, in my opinion. Some really good turns, a lot of driving runs. So for me,
right there,
game time.
Personally, for me, I think there is a little similarity to what happened with Martinelli when he got injured. The club is somewhat protecting him, and I think when he gets an opportunity and he's given an opportunity of a run of games, he'll be successful. But at this moment in time, he's not getting that run of games, and if he's never going to get a run of games consistently, he's never going to get back to fitness. If we do get an adequate bid in the summer, I would consider selling him, but only if they don't have him directly in the plans. If we have him in the plans, play him, utilize the bench, utilize the academy. Mikel Arteta needs to be better at that. Some people saying, Egal, what is success for you? Success for me is winning the major trophies, the Champions League or the league title straight. If Mikel Arteta can win one of those two, he's been successful. If he wins a domestic cup, that is not success at this moment in time for what we are trying to do. That is good. It's good to win silverware, but it's not success. Success for Arsenal Football Club is to be at the top and win the two major honors, which we haven't done for 20 years. So you could arguably say we haven't had a successful season for 20 years. You can say we've had good seasons, but I don't think we've had a successful season. But hey, that's what I judge success. Maybe it's a high bar, but unfortunately, we haven't been successful under Mikel Arteta, under Arsene Wenger, under Unai Emery for those 20 years that we haven't won any major honors. FA Cups are good, but they're not success. They're good moments, but I wouldn't deem them a successful club season. You win a domestic trophy, you're going to love it, but you're not going to say you had a great season. Last season was a good season. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't successful. We ended the season poorly. But hey, people saying, would you take Ian Robin? No. Would I take what's his name?
Adrian Rabiot.
Rabiot. No one's taking it. Rabiot, man. Juventus can fly kick with their dead players, man. And he's one of the highest paid players in Juventus. Don't forget that. He's one of the highest paid players in the whole league. They gave him a ridiculous contract after he left PSG on a free contract. No way in hell. Next, quick fire. Don't forget. Ramsdale's going to start tomorrow. We all agree on that, right?
I actually don't think he does.
Ramsdale doesn't start tomorrow.
I think he sticks with David Raya.
Why?
Is it what I want or
Is
what
he
Arteta
never going to play Ramsdale? Like,
I don't think so. I genuinely, I think he's done.
You think Ramsdale's done?
I don't want it to be. I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm not saying it's what I want.
Why are we holding him hostage? Sell him in January then. If he's never going to play, why is he here?
That's what I want. Like, I think he needs to go for his own benefit.
Listen,
you know what it is? If he does not play, no, can we agree on one thing? If he doesn't play tomorrow, he has to be like, we have to hold this club and go, do you know what? We don't agree if they don't sell him.
Listen, if he's not going to be playing in a game in the FA Cup against it doesn't matter that it's against Liverpool. If he's not going to play in an FA Cup game, he's not going to play in the Champions League game. He's not going to play in the Premier League games. When is he going to play? We have to either think about moving him on in the summer, in the summer, at least minimum, because at this moment in time, he is a wasted asset. But I'm going to say this. People who are getting upset at David Raya for Ramsdale not playing, don't get upset at David Raya. Get upset at the manager. That's the reality. You can criticize the manager for picking him, but at this moment in time, here's my take. I think it's harsh on David Raya to be comparing him to Ramsdale because we have such a large sample size of Ramsdale's work in comparison to Raya, and our defense was a lot more worse. So Ramsdale would face more shots where he would save us more often. How many times has Raya even faced shots in a game? I don't know too many games where he's faced too many shots. Our defense is so good that Raya's job is just so much easier. Ramsdale had to deal with not a bad defense, but a midfield that was much more exposed, fullbacks who were much more consistently giving away the ball in bad positions. Like, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have to deal with Nuno Tavares as one of our fullbacks?
Yeah, at times, yeah.
So I'll give David Raya a break because people keep comparing the two. But at this moment in time, we have to play Ramsdale tomorrow. And if he doesn't play, that just gives me a sign that Mikel Arteta is completely out on him. And I think it's very harsh. But hey, that's the reality. And then we do have our guests joining us any moment now. But before our guests join us, Hussam and Ram, one more topic. Charlie Patino scored a goal today for Swansea. And what a goal it was. Literally the whole team build up play, amazing build up play, back post, tapped it in for him. And this season, do you know how many goals Charlie Patino has scored, bro?
I've actually seen quite a few of his goals. They're pretty,
how much Charlie Patino
varied.
It is nuts.
Like eight goals or something this season. I'm sure I've seen like 5 or 6.
15 starts, 8 GA.
That's decent. That is decent.
Is he going to get a chance? What does Charlie Patino have to do to get a chance at Arsenal?
He probably might this coming season, but not at the moment.
I don't think Charlie Patino is going to get an opportunity at Arsenal. I think he's going to get sold in the summer. Genuinely believe it. I just don't think Mikel Arteta has Charlie Patino part of the plans. I know some people would say keep Charlie Patino. He can be like, I've seen somebody today compare him to Bernardo Silva in the sense that he's a petite dribbler / somebody who can score goals and contribute in the attack from that perspective. I think we need to chill with the comparisons, but definitely can be somebody we could utilize. He's on loan right now at Swansea, and would he be an impact player off the bench for us? Maybe, but Mikel Arteta is not going to give him the opportunity. Once again, Mikel Arteta not trusting the academy. I think Mikel Arteta should be using some of these academy players more often and giving them a little bit of opportunity in the dead rubbers, like in the Champions League. That last game, he should have used some of the young players. Charlie Waters. We have the left back who hasn't gotten a game. We have a left back crisis, and Charlie Patino is going to be looking to leave. I think we maybe make some money off Charlie Patino in the summer, maybe 25, 20 mil if he re-signs his deal. If I'm not mistaken, his contract's running out soon. Am I wrong?
I believe so, but yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be if we're looking to sell him, this is the summer we do it.
Bro, his contract out in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I don't know about contracts, to be honest.
I hope it's not. 1 second. No, yeah, his contract expires. No. I don't know. I don't know when his contract expires.
I'm sure he's got another season at least.
I
hope
they didn't loan him out with the intentions of not signing him to another deal.
Yeah,
like that's criminal. But hey, that's enough about that. We're now going to get into the main topic of the day, Arsenal Liverpool. Hopefully, Husam's going to be joining us very soon. Also, we currently have Ram in the building, who's a Liverpool fan. Big up Ram. We also have Husam is going to be joining us right now. 1 second, I did send him the link if I'm not mistaken. 1 second. He said 2 minutes. He's going to be there. Big up to him. And just before Ram jumps in, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about with the Arsenal transfers. Bro, you know what? I'm going to ask Ram about this. Ram, if you're Crystal Palace and I offered them Reece Nelson plus cash for Olise, do you think they do it?
Depends on how much cash you're offering.
Say like 30 mil.
Make it 40, then yeah, they'll take it.
Because I'm thinking Michael Olise is a quality player. Everybody's talking about him going to Chelsea, Man City in the summer, now Manchester United. Maybe Arsenal test your waters. They like Reece Nelson over at Crystal Palace. Reece Nelson is a quality player. I even had somebody comment down below one of my tweets today and say Reece Nelson statistically has been better than Michael Olise last season, even though
he's a very similar player to Saka. And
that's what I mean.
One thing I would say is get someone that's a bit different to Saka, someone who's not like that, very, very direct, but very good in front of goal. There's not many right wingers out there. That's the problem. But ideally for you guys, I think having that, I won't say versatility, but options of different kind of players offering something different to the team. Like you compare Martinelli, Trossard, two completely different players, but work in different ways. A similar thing like that, it would be really good. But yeah, he's a good right winger. He could play as a 10 as well. I don't see him on the left hand side. I see him more on the right, but he'll be a good player for you guys, man. He'll be a good player. Plus, he's homegrown as well.
People saying, hell nah.
Nah, man, he's a good player.
So, what are you saying? Reece Nelson, 20 mil, 30 mil.
20 mil or 30 mil?
20 mil, bro.
30.
All right. I mean, to be fair, like, Reece, we should probably do it with Eddie and Nketiah. They actually want Nketiah right now, so maybe that holds more value for them.
Okay,
but
Eddie plus 20.
It'll probably be Eddie plus 30, but yeah. 30. I mean, yeah, I think either way you're paying 30 plus a player, but I mean, look, he's a quality signing. If we do go get him, he's a versatile player. Maybe Arteta can work his magic and put him into the midfield. You know, move Odegaard over to the left-hand side and bring Olise to the right of the midfield as well. So it's an interesting one. I mean, it's gonna take a lot because Chelsea, as we know, love to spend money. So maybe that tempts Crystal Palace to maybe see the waters with how much Chelsea are willing to offer, and that becomes something that we're not comfortable matching. So it's down to the player and how much fuss he wants to create on joining Arsenal. I mean, I've heard rumours he prefers the Arsenal move over going to United. So I don't know.
Hey, I think a lot of people would rather come to Arsenal or any other club rather than go to United right now. That's just facts. But yeah, big up Husam, big up Ram. How you guys doing, guys?
Can't believe you got me on with the Ram, but anyway.
No, Husam, don't do that, bro. The lies that you're spreading about me, my bro. Yo, the lies, the absolute lies you're spreading about me, yeah?
This guy right here, let me expose him. He's the biggest fan of Adrian in our fan base. He celebrated the contract extension.
Okay.
That's all I need to know.
When did Adrian get a contract extension?
Like a summer ago, and he fully celebrated.
What I mean? My lies. You see what I mean?
There you are. So I'm spreading lies.
Listen, everyone knows this. I'm the biggest Alisson, not Adrian, Alisson fan that there will be at this on this platform, on any platform. Yeah, don't try that. Don't try it.
I mean, it's not hard to be Alisson's biggest fan. Let's be real.
I had stocks from.
Alisson is the best keeper in the league.
I had stocks from day one.
I said I'm an Alisson big fan. So is everyone else. Anyway, big up to the Adrian big fan. And big up to you guys as well for having me.
You know what? I actually got photo. I got evidence as well. I'm gonna be right back.
Well, okay. I don't know what
I got evidence that I'm a Hamza fan. Is that it? Is that what we're doing now?
I don't know what the evidence is, but let's see what he has to bring to the table. Husam, how you doing? How you been, man?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm good. Big up to you for having me. Big up to Sals as well. Been a while. Big up to the chat. Guys, like and subscribe. And yeah, we're here. Can't believe you had Ram as my fucking partner though.
Yeah, I had to get somebody, man. I had to get somebody, right? I had to get somebody. So I got Ram in the building. Hey, it was small pickings. All the other Liverpool fans were like, "Yo, I don't know what I don't know. Everyone's busy on Saturday nights, man. It is what it is."
So you put money in FSG's pocket, and you're about to expose yourself to the whole world. Is that it, Rams?
Oh, you're on mute.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you because you're a fraud.
When there's a will, there's a way. There's a will, there's a way. I'm not going to expose how I did it, but there's a will, there's a way. From day one, even when before he had the number 1, had the number 13. 2018-19 he signed. Huh?
That's
Say
Photoshop.
Again, it's Photoshop, yeah? Look,
yeah, that's
look at this. I don't know if it's Photoshop, if you could just wave it around like that. I'm just saying.
Let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into business. First things first. Thank you for joining us, guys. Big up to Hussam. Big up to Ram. I'm gonna put everyone's links into their channels in the description, of course, so you guys can make sure you check that out. First thing, how seriously are you guys taking this game against Arsenal? And are you guys putting out as strong as a team? Because you do have the League Cup, the Europa League, and the Premier League to still fight for. Because I heard some of your fans saying, don't risk injuring anybody. Don't put out the strongest team because we still have to prioritize the League Cup, the Europa League, and the Premier League. So I want to know what your take on that is, because I had Rack here on. I had Rack on. What was it? Friday? Yeah, yesterday. And he basically said that he doesn't think they're going to take it as serious as they would the League Cup final on, what is that, next week?
The semi, you mean? Yeah.
Semi, that's this week, is Wednesday.
It's in 3 days after the Arsenal game. Yeah. Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, January 10th, my birthday. Let's go. But yeah, talk to me.
Look, I think with the game tomorrow, I'm not even trying to do the underdog thing. I'm just being serious. I think all pressure is on Arsenal because for us, we're already in a Carabao Cup semi-final. We basically have, I think, a massive chance of winning the Europa League. So we're kind of already in 2 competitions that we're more than likely going to win, in my opinion, because I think like Chelsea obviously is one of the games, and the other game is the other game is in the Europa League. We're in the round of 16 already. Maybe other than Leverkusen and Roma and Mourinho, I don't think anyone really troubles me like that or worries me like that. So I think that's what I would say regarding that. So I think we kind of already have a massive chance of winning 2 competitions. So the pressure is on Arsenal because obviously we all know that the Champions League is going to be very difficult to win.
So are you doing bigger fish to fry, Hussam? Are you doing the bigger fish to fry thing?
No, I'm not doing the bigger fish to fry, but we're in a semi-final. We're in a semi-final of the Carabao Cup. So the other domestic cup, we're in the semis. And for us with the Europa League, I look at us as one of the, not one of, I think we're the outright favorite.
No, we are the outright favorites.
Yeah, we're the outright favorite for the competition. So there's already 2 competitions right there that we have a big chance of winning. With the FA Cup tomorrow, if we do lose, I'm not going to rant or cry about it or shout about it. I want us to win. I want us to win every game. But at the same time, I recognize okay, I'm in 2 competitions. Both of them, I have a massive chance of winning. And in the Premier League currently, as things stand, we are top of the league and, we're in the title race. So if we lose tomorrow, I'm not going to cry about it, to be honest with you. Whereas with you guys, you're out the Carabao Cup. The Champions League, obviously, there's a small chance you have of winning it. I think Madrid and City are the favorites. And then with the Premier League, obviously, we know City are the favorites. Liverpool currently sit top. So it's 2 completely different situations. And I think tomorrow for Arsenal, I think the pressure is even more on Arteta than it is the actual club. Like, I think the pressure is bigger on your manager than it is the actual football club, which I think speaks of the current situation. But for us personally, look, if Liverpool win tomorrow, it'll be great. I don't want to spoil it for later on, but I think because Arsenal don't need a draw and Liverpool don't need a draw is exactly what we're going to get. So, get ready to come to Anfield and have a replay. It just smells of it, you guys. You know when a game just smells of something, it literally just smells of a draw. Like,
I hope it doesn't happen. A replay doesn't happen. Ram, what are you saying? You also think it's going to be a replay?
I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's just one game that we have to play. I for once, I actually agree with literally everything Hussam says. You know, it's not bigger fish to fry because it's predicting what is going to happen, and we have better opportunity. We have a better opportunity of winning the League Cup because we're in the semi-final. If this was like a 6-round tie or a semi-final tie, then it's a different story. But it's third round. It's literally at the start of a competition. We're near the end of another competition, which for me, I think FA Cup is a lot more prestigious, a lot more history behind it. But League Cup is also a domestic trophy. And in my opinion, I said I want a domestic trophy in the Europa League this season. And if we put all our eggs into this and we don't come up on top, and then we end up losing in semi-final against Fulham, like, what are we doing here? Like, go for the trophy that you look like you're about to win, rather than go and put everything on something that is way, way, way down the line. So for me, is not bigger fish to fry, so to say, because FA Cup is bigger than League Cup, but it's prioritizing what you're going to win. And we are most likely to win the League Cup than we are the FA Cup. And also,
by the way,
yeah,
big up to the comment. Fun fact: 17 games played against us to 8-1 by Arsenal, 5-1 by Liverpool. Interesting.
Yeah,
stat.
I think the last time we played in the FA Cup was 2014, where we should have got about 4 or 5 penalties that game, but we didn't. But it is what it is. Back to what Hussam says, Europa League should be winning it. Like, the only team that I fear is Xabi Alonso Leverkusen, not because of the quality.
You guys should do a treble, basically. That's what you're trying to go for.
Look, at the end of the day, I said that Liverpool should have won the Europa League, should win the Europa League and win a League Cup or FA Cup. If we win the Premier League, which again, I don't think we're going to do it. I still think we're 1 year behind. If we end up getting someone this January, like a big boy DM or a big boy centre-back, or maybe a forward, then my opinion might change. I think the former two rather than the latter would have been ideal for us. But
are you guys
if we
linked
get someone in Inacio, but again, it's just like a meaty link of like 26 mil for Inacio, which is not going to happen.
Why don't you get Kimmich? Like, Kimmich is there begging for someone to sign him. Like,
I would love Kimmich. Hussam knows. Hussam knows I want Kimmich.
That would be your midfield cover, your Trent cover. You would be set. Like,
it's actually that fraud Tom Little that didn't want Kimmich. He said Kimmich and Trent can't play in the same team. Yeah, he's a bozo. Listen, that's just what Tom Little is.
I remember, Hussam, this is the same guy that backed Thomas Tuchel to manage our football club, yeah? Yeah?
I have no way. The same Thomas Tuchel about to sign Eric Dyer, by the way.
Okay, let's go to Souls quickly. Souls, are you worried about Liverpool? No Mo Salah. Do you think they can be as threatening without Mo Salah? And are you going to be concerned still, as always? It is Liverpool still.
I love the fact how you just answered for him, man. Like, concerned. Are you concerned? You're always concerned anyway, so it's like,
yeah, man. We're fucking Arsenal, man. We're always concerned. We're our biggest enemy. It depends.
Do you agree with Hussam? It's a must-win game, right?
For us, 100%. We have no excuses not to win this game. They are literally without Salah. Like, what more can Liverpool say to us or do to say, "Here you go, have a win"? They are literally saying you can have a free win on us. Because I'm not saying that, their team quality depletes, but look at their midfield, for example. You're talking about Declan Rice, £105 million player going up against Endo. Let's be real.
Endo's not even there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's not there either. Exactly.
Yeah, so Endo's not there, brother.
Yeah, Captain of Japan, he's gone.
Even more of a reason we can't lose. We don't have, enough missing players to say this is even it should be competitive. It should even be a draw. It should even go to a replay. Anything but a win is embarrassing, I'm being honest with you, because what more can Liverpool do to help us win? Like, of course, the hands are tied. Endo has to go for the Asia Cups. Salah has to go to AFCON. They've got Nunes, who is very hit and miss. He can have a good game. He can be a problem. Jota's only just returned from an injury. Diaz this season, I don't know what's happened to him. He's been very up and down. When you look at their midfield, very imbalanced. It's a very sort of, I don't really understand what the thought process behind it was. They've not really got a DM or an actual standout DM. So the only place that, they've got maybe a bit of an advantage is Van Dijk and Alisson. That's it. They're literally the only two positions that I can sit there and go, and obviously Trent as well with what he offers. But other than that, there's nothing that should worry us. Yes, Jota on his day scores against us, but that's one player. Nunes, we'll see which Nunes turns up. But again, we have our problems. We've got a lot of players who aren't firing at the moment. We need to see what our manager does. Does he take this seriously, or does he do what he's done every single competition so far and throws it away for bigger fish to fry and bigger competition to go for?
Has to take it serious, bro. That's
Yeah,
all I have
if
to
he
say.
doesn't, he's got, like, for me, that's another, like, yeah, you're putting the nail in your own coffin here. Like, this is the biggest opportunity, especially with, what is it, 1 win in 5 or something like that, to go and say, do you know what, let's go beat Liverpool, regardless of who's the favourite. I don't care. I don't care whether we have to win this game. It's like we're playing a third league division team. I don't care. This is the biggest opportunity to earn some trust back and go, do you know what, and build momentum. Beating Liverpool, regardless of how depleted they are, is still beating Liverpool. That in itself gives you confidence. Even if you beat a depleted Man City side, mentally that should really regurgitate your season. It should really give you that push to go, do you know what? Yeah, we did it. It's at home. Who cares? We still did it. And that's how I see this game. I see this game as a restart to a bad season. You know, take this and use it as momentum, use it as fuel to kick on, because there's always a turning point in a season. There's always something that defines your season, and beating Liverpool could be that.
I don't think the manager recently came out with a preview to interview press conference before the Liverpool game, and he was basically talking about how the Fulham game is a one-off and that's not going to happen again. Basically, like he's like, sometimes you need to look at things with a microscope, and he was basically analyzing the games that have happened this season, and he's saying you can't just look at it from a basically like a do or die situation.
You have to hope it's a one-off.
Some people, but the thing is, I don't know if you guys are noticing, but some Arsenal fans are speaking like it's a crisis. I generally don't think it's a crisis at this moment in time. I think it was just a blip, and we're gonna get over it.
But you know what it is? It's not about it being a blip, or it's not the loss. It's more the same problems we've seen all season. We're not firing. We're not scoring. The attack looks disjointed. There's clearly a bigger problem. That's the issue. I think a lot of that side of the fan base is, oh no, we lost. That's why people are losing their heads. And no, it's finally come to a realization. I've been saying it all season. We don't look the same. That's the problem. Forget the loss. Forget the loss. We just haven't scored.
No, but
I think the one thing that a lot of Arsenal fans didn't talk about was I just felt Fulham wanted it more. I think when people like Palhinha just sliding in, trying to get into challenges, getting stuck in, and everyone else they just wanted it more, and that was a big concern of mine. I don't think a lot of Arsenal fans talked about it that much.
Hussam, what do you think? Because
I think it's how you lose that matters. It's not when, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Liverpool drew with Luton this season. Disappointing result, but Liverpool had about 35 chances and just missed them all. That's completely different to Fulham having the more dangerous chances against Arsenal. When I watched that Arsenal game, Arsenal didn't really create anything. And if you were to ask me right now, what was closer, Fulham 3-1 win or Arsenal 2-2 draw? I'm going to say Fulham 3-1 win. They had the Jimenez chance, the Pereira free kick, the Kearney shot. They had so many opportunities. Cordova Reed as well had 1 or 2 chances as well to score. So they kept creating chance after chance after chance. And Arsenal were just so toothless. I think the how matters. It's not like Fulham didn't do a smash and grab. Fulham were actually the better team on the pitch.
But to be fair, Hussam, Fulham's second goal was basically it hit 3 of our defenders, pinballed in front of the
and I can just say, and I can say your own goal. I can say the goal that you scored, Leno just palmed it into the feet of Saka. So shit like that happened, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to be more lethal. You have to be more lethal with your chances, and I think that's the problem with Arsenal right now. I think Arsenal 100% need a forward, and if you don't sign anyone in January, I don't think you can win the league. You need.
I don't know if you missed the first part of the show, but we're not signing nobody. We're not signing a forward. If we're signing a forward, it's in the summer, and we're gonna try to go get somebody to match Mo Salah and Erling Haaland's output, like a Victor Osimhen. That's the plan. But
hey, good luck then if you're not going to sign a forward in January. Oh, suddenly this okay? Then the game tomorrow is a cup final. Then I'm sorry, it's just a cup final.
So you don't
then
think
this thing becomes even worse for you, because you could still win the FA Cup. Like, let's just cut the crap here. You 100% can win the FA Cup, but Champions League and Premier League now is probably, unless you do some voodoo shit and just park the bus every single round in the Champions League. You know, like if you take on Real Madrid, you just put
Martinelli and Hussam, if Martinelli and Saka start firing to the clip that they fired last season, don't forget, last season, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, and Jesus combined for 54 goals out of our 88.
Yes.
So if
But-
they
No,
still
I
have-
agree with you. The only way, if you're telling me right now, how can Liverpool and Arsenal win the league without signings? I tell you, yes, there is a world in which we win the league without signings, but we have to be perfect until May. We cannot afford any mistake. Why? Because there is a corrupt bunch of bastards that are also in this title race that worry us all. That's the problem. Who
Bro,
are looking at
and
signing fucking
I
just
seen your
one
video.
image. I hate Manchester City with my whole soul. I can't stand that football club. People at the start of the season, like Ram, accuse me, you twerking for Arsenal. I'm not twerking for Arsenal. If at the end of the year,
Of course.
it's an Arsenal City title race, I'm singing Arsenal songs. I've had enough of that City
big up
shit.
to you, because I did a video and I basically said we all need to come together against these.
No,
villains.
don't know, Egal. Don't.
These
Don't.
guys-
I know what you're doing. That's not how it happens.
me
Don't
land,
try
let me
that.
land, bro. Let me land. But before we go any further, Andy's saying Saka in Gomez's pocket, Gakpo right wing, Elliott right midfield, Curtis Jones left midfield. Andy, you're a Liverpool fan, I'm assuming.
Andy, big up for the super chat, but that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, I'm not good. I do not want to.
Gakpo ain't no good,
right.
ain't no good right winger. Like,
No,
listen,
please.
Andy, my brother,
This is the
thank
lineup.
you, but switch off FIFA. That's what I would say.
The potential lineup though. Gakpo, Becker, you're gonna have Trent, Diaz. Sorry, what am I talking? Let me do it in order. So
I
it's gonna
can't
be
see the
Alisson.
screen. I can't see the
Yeah, we
screen.
can't see
Egal.
the screen.
Put us
Now we can.
lower.
1 second.
If you can.
Let me just
There's
change
no,
it.
Ram, there's no need for it
that
to be
better?
that dramatic.
Like this,
Oh,
like this, like this, like
it's
this.
so fucking dramatic,
So
bro.
the only person you can't see is Ben White, who's the right back, but everything else you guys can see.
This expected lineup is what I expect to see anyway. The only
Yes.
difference is probably Gakpo, maybe
And Ali.
possibly starting.
I think Kelleher might
The
play
only
as well.
difference we were talking about
No,
Ramsdale,
Kelleher
Raya.
ain't playing.
Surely Ramsdale has to start this game, or else just he's useless. Get rid of him. Like if he's not going to play this game, why do we have him at the club still? Well, yeah.
I'll be
Kane-
honest with you. This team right here, without Mo Salah in the front line, even the
It's
game
good.
against Newcastle had 7.5 xG. Right, first goal he created, second goal he scored, third goal he played the pass to Jota that then he went to play to Curtis Jones, and the fourth goal he scored. Like it's just like he was literally involved in all 4 fucking goals. People listen. People who just chat shit about Mo Salah at this point, you're just doing agendas because it just makes no sense. Like you just have to. He's responsible for 51% of our goals. So to say that he won't be a miss is me lying. And also Endo, he's stepped up over the last month. He's had good games.
Really?
I think he got bullied at Palace, so he has had a couple of bad games, but mostly he's had very good games for us. So he'll also be a miss. But the biggest miss is, of course, Mo. So I look at that forward line, and I'm not even looking at them on paper. The thing that worries me is how the fuck they gel together. That's what worries me, like on the pitch, because like Salah's the guy bringing all that stuff together right there. So that's what I'd say.
I think Harvey will play right, though. I think Harvey will play on the right hand side because Klopp loves his inverted wingers, players that can cut in onto their stronger foot and do what they do. And plus, Harvey's been all right, man. Harvey's done well this season. I think when he's come on, he's really put in the business and really created a couple of chances, which I hope to God Darwin Nunez, please put one away, or as many of them as away, please.
You know my take. You know my
Very
take
well.
on Darwin Nunez. I think Darwin Nunez is a good player, but the issue he has is he doesn't finish his chances properly. He just shoots.
Oh
He's a
no,
guy
Egal.
Let me land, bro. Let me land. He's a good all-around player. He's a great second striker almost at times. He's that's why he does so well when he's off on the wing and you guys play Gakpo and Mo Salah with him. But when he is asked to be just one-on-one against the keeper, he can't do it. He shoots and he's like sometimes you have to think, you have to take the extra second. He doesn't do that. He doesn't take that extra second. He doesn't have a finish. He doesn't have a go-to move. It's kind of like when he gets in front of goal, he just tries to do whatever he can. But when you look at other strikers, they have that move in their pocket that they already know they can go to finish their shot. Mo Salah does that. Every other striker has a way that they can finish, that they know they can get past the keeper to score, and he doesn't have that in his locker.
Egal, he's no D'Angelo Russell, man. He ain't got that ice in his veins, bro. He don't. He's just.
I honestly think it's that simple. He overthinks it.
How do you not know ball in 2 sports? They just call D'Angelo Russell ice in his veins.
Well, he's the guy that does the ice in his veins celebration.
Yeah, he's been shit for like 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
Right, but no.
My main point is he
Egal
overthinks.
just described Timo Werner, by the way, just so everyone knows.
I think he overthinks it. I think he overthinks it in the
No,
final
it's not
third.
even Egal.
And I think I did a good explanation. But
No,
hey,
but it's not even
No,
that.
you
It's the
did do a
fact-
good
It
explanation.
is
I'm
a
just
good
saying it
explanation,
sounds
but
like
it's the
Timo Werner. 100%.
it's the fact that he's
Yeah.
shown to do good stuff. Like that Burnley finish was a cold finish.
Newcastle.
And then he does
season.
stupid. And the Newcastle, he put 2 cold finishes, 2 hard finishes, and then he does stupid stuff like that. What you saw against Newcastle, you know what I mean?
Both of our attacks, without Mo Salah, both of our attacks have the same issue. That's the reality. It's just slightly different.
Yeah.
You guys create more chances. We create less chances to start the season, but now we can't finish a dinner at all. So
You know why you create less chances? Because you're trying to pass the ball in the back of the net. Liverpool ain't about that. We don't give a fuck about this tiki-taka stuff. Just if you find an opportunity to shoot. We like chaotic stuff. We like to just bombard, press, the defenders, stuff like that. For us, it's less about, looking aesthetically pleasing when you score a goal. We don't care.
let me
We're
ask
just
you a
trying
question.
to score.
Someone asked me the other day, would you swap Darwin Núñez for Gabriel Jesus? Souls, would you do that? I said no.
Pre-injury Jesus, no, I wouldn't. I don't know, man.
No,
you know
you
what?
wouldn't.
Would you
You
guys
wouldn't.
swap Jesus for Núñez?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, just that gives you your answer right there. But hey,
No, man, there's something about Núñez, though. There's something about him.
okay,
He's
guys.
that PMP, bro.
There's
You know
one
what
more.
I mean? There is just that
There's
something
one more
about him, man.
Hamza has his agenda every single day, but I want to know finally, Hussam, can you give me your take on the Saliba Konate comparison? Because everyone still runs with this sometimes in your fan base.
First of all, it's not an agenda because Konate is an unbelievable defender. I think Konate has better physical attributes than Saliba. And I think Konate is a bit more aggressive in terms of his defending. I think Saliba's way better on the ball and more available. So Konate needs to play more, first and foremost, for this argument to be a thing. But if I'm doing a team of the season right now, the 2 centre-backs are Van Dijk and Saliba. That's it. But if I'm talking about Konate as in his attributes, 100%, it's a fair thing to say like Konate and Saliba is a conversation. It's not like it's not a conversation, but Konate is not fit enough and doesn't have enough games under his belt for us to make that argument. And at the same time, I think Saliba's passing is just next level to Konate. That's Konate's weakness right there. I think his passing, but physically, all of that, the pace and the power. When he goes into a tackle, it feels like the other guy just broke his leg every time. So, I think he has that aggressive nature to him.
Do you know what, Hassam, you just described? The perfect partnership. That is the best. That is the best. That's the perfect partnership that complements each other.
France never do that. The guy loves, what's his name, who keeps playing centre back?
Upamecano.
Yeah, Upamecano. He loves.
Don't do that, Hassam. Again with the lies, bro. Stop it with the lies.
No, he does.
Bro, not you, Didier Deschamps.
Oh, so I thought you said Rams. I was like,
Rams is on one today.
Rams, you're so agitated.
No.
Let's wrap it up here.
I trigger him. That's why.
There was a stream where he said that I wanted Andreas Christensen at Liverpool Football Club.
Oh, by the way,
yeah, you said it in the chat.
One more thing. Why do you guys overwater your pitch?
I don't know.
What's up with that?
So we can get them 6 celebrations, you know what I mean?
No, because it cost you guys with Steven Gerrard with the Chelsea game back in the years. And then it can cost you guys injuries. No disrespect. Well, I don't know why
you cannot say Steven Gerrard the slip and then say no disrespect. That's like me saying what for Arsenal, no disrespect. Come on, man.
Okay, whatever.
Don't do that.
You get what I mean, though. Because by the way, Tsimikas is not injured. He's fine now.
Alhamdulillah. I'm so happy, bro. That guy was playing. I told Rams when he says Tsimikas, you don't talk. Let me do the talking because you turned on him. So when it comes to Tsimikas, I told people about Kostas Tsimikas. They didn't want to listen. I always defend technically good footballers. Tsimikas is technically very good footballer. That he's very technical. He's very good with both feet. He can put across him. And I'm gonna just say it as it is. When I was doing the combined 11 with troops on his channel, I was like, yo, we're putting Tsimikas in the combined 11. And he actually caved in at the end. And he came back to me after the Liverpool Arsenal game. He was like, Hussam, you were right about Tsimikas. Bro, that guy, I don't know what the fuck happened. But since the last international break, he's been on smoke. for the last like month
Look
and
how
a little
smug
bit.
this guy
He's been
is.
cooking. He's been the best left back in the league in the last
Slow
month.
cooking, yes.
But then he got injured, unfortunately. But yeah, we will miss
But-
Tsimikas. We will.
Egal, it was a broken collarbone, and it's 50, it's not 50-50, but it depends on the injury. Thankfully, and depends on the person. Thankfully, he has recovered from it. But if it was like a broken shoulder, which people thought it would have been, then it would have been long days.
Yeah.
It would have been long days.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it was a broken collarbone.
Can you publicly
And he had
say you're
to-
wrong about Tsimikas now? First time we meet,
Hussam,
I was
Hussam,
wrong about
Hussam.
Tsimikas. Say it.
Hussam, I said it on your channel. I have to hold some corn for Tsimikas, but that
Thank
don't mean
you.
I haven't changed my opinion. I still think there's better out there.
All right, guys. Time for the predictions. I think Arsenal are gonna win 2-1. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but we're gonna get early. It's gonna be a situation where we get it at the end. We're at home. We have that judge where we end up finding a way to win games late in games. Hopefully, we can do it again versus Liverpool. And without Mo Salah, hopefully we can keep your attack generally quiet for majority of the game. But yeah, that's my prediction. And yeah, what you saying, Hussam? You said 2-2 or 1-1?
Hey, listen, you don't need a draw. We don't need a draw, which means a draw is going to happen. So it's just how it goes. I do not want to play another game in this competition in the third round. Neither do you. So that's exactly what's going to happen. And you know when a game just smells of something, this game just smells of a draw. It just smells of it. Like first game without Salah, Arsenal not that confident. Like, you know, it's 1-1, 1-1 or 2-2. One of those, I think, is going to be the result, in my opinion.
1-1 or 2-2. 2-2 is actually the bookie's prediction on who score.
I told you it smells of a draw. It smells of it.
What are you saying, Rack? I mean Ram. Sorry, I don't know why I called you Rack. My apologies.
I give you credit. I give you some credit. Rack and Ram is a bit similar, just one letter. But I'll go for a 1-1 draw as well. Like Hussam said, we don't need to win. We don't need to win, but we both don't need a draw, and it's going to happen. And plus, people that bookie say 2-2. Have you seen our front lines? Have you seen our front lines?
Exactly.
We're not gonna score 4 goals in this game. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be a 1-1 in my opinion. I think if there is a team most likely to win, it probably would be Arsenal, because I think they'll take it a little bit more seriously than Jurgen Klopp, in my opinion.
I don't know why they didn't just do the penalties thing though. Like, guys, like when Jurgen Klopp speaks about fixture congestion, he's not moaning. Bro, there's Nations League, there's AFCON, there's Asian Cup, there's Euros, there's Copa America, there's Champions League, Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Ya akhi, let the players breathe. If it ends in a draw, خلاص, penalty shootout. If you lose, you lose. You win. Keep it stepping. This replay shit is so weird, man.
They'll use the argument, if the lower teams get to play in their home fans and they get some money, all that kind of BS, you know what I mean? But that's how it is.
Okay. And yeah, Souls, final one, take it away. What are you saying?
I just hope he takes it seriously, man. I hope there's a strong 11. Firstly, that's my hope and prayers for today and tomorrow. But when it comes to it, man, I hope this is the game they actually fire in. But I'll be honest with you, I don't. If we're gonna win, it won't be 1-0. We will concede, so I have to go 2-1.
2-1. Okay, there you go. Big up everyone for joining us today. Honestly, we're gonna be wearing our white kits. You guys are gonna be wearing your third kit, for if you guys don't know, for the whole campaign with no red. So it's gonna be interesting seeing us wear different colors. But hey, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Hussam, you're gonna do a watch along tomorrow?
Of course, I'm gonna be doing a watch along. Yes, sir. Inshallah, we'll be there for the watch along.
So guys, make sure you guys go check out This Is Football. The link is in the description. Ram, you need to start doing some content. I don't know what's up with you. And Gunner Souls, I don't know what kind of content you're gonna start doing, but whatever it is, guys, go check out his channel also. We're
Get
at
out my club.
Listen, my man is not gonna do Arsenal content. I'm telling you, he's gonna turn into Andrew Tate 2.0. I'm telling you, he's crazy like that. But let's get it going. Have a good one, guys. Love for the love. I appreciate you guys coming on a Saturday.